bottle down there. It looks like it could be a cork top. What do you think? I'll put you under. All right, so you ready for another adventure on the river today? It's a little bit green, but I think it's going to turn out fine underwater if we ever get some underwater action. I've been searching around this bank here, and it goes down that way. I came up through there. You can see where the little bubbles are. That's where I started. I haven't really gotten much yet, but I'm very hopeful that we'll get into an area up here where there was an old ford. I know I'm down below it now. I actually floated downriver just to check it out, and then just upstream there's an area where there's a lot of bedrock and it's pretty shallow, not quite up to the bend there. So I think there's going to be a ford. That's where the ford's going to be. I just wanted to start below it just in case, because I don't want to miss it. And you know, if a wagon fell over, or you know, soldiers drowned or whatever, I'm looking for Civil War stuff and colonial stuff. But if something happened bad in the crossing area there, like a wagon tipped over, a horse gets swept off his feet, things that were heavy but might have had like flotation stuff on it, like wood on a musket, might float down in a flood of ways below where it was dropped. Now cannonballs, bullets, coins, they're going to be right up there in the ford. But if you had, like, if somebody's jackets came off, or you know, they had a bag full of clothes with uniform buttons, that might have floated down, you know, for miles before it got hung up, you know, on a tree or something during a flood. But a musket or something is not going to go too far, I don't think. That you hear red-tailed hawk up there screaming. Not going to do it. There he goes. Not going to do it on cute though. All right, so let me go ahead and get back in the water and start hunting some more. And once we start finding stuff, I'll get you back out. And if I don't find stuff, you'll probably never see this video. I've had quite a few of those lately. I am digging up some of the iron as I go along, mostly the bigger stuff. I haven't found a lot of anything good yet, but I am finding stuff like this, which are square nails. So that indicates there were, you know, there's older things here. It doesn't mean that there was a structure here or a ford here. This could have washed out in the flood, but I've gotten 3 or 4 of these already, and it seems to be picking up the further up the river I'm going. So hopefully we'll start to get into some stuff here. I'm up to the little like man-made structure, in quotes, air quotes, that I wanted to show you that I thought might indicate possibly a ford, or at least an area where they could get down into the river easier. A lot of all these rocks right here, these were put here by man for some reason. When I first floated by here, I was thinking that they might have, you know, there could have been a road cut through here, a fording road. These might have been put down in the mud to make it easier to get in and out with wagons and horses. But now that I'm looking at it, I can see it's pretty long. So it's probably just where the farmer has been dumping rocks over into the river for the last 100, 200 years. And that's all that is right here. I'm pretty sure this isn't a ford. The only kind of stuff I've been finding so far is just like modern, well, I say modern, but could be older than me. Some electrical stuff, and there's our nail there that I showed you earlier. Weird little piece of twisted wire. But, you know, with finding electrical stuff like that, I'm just not very hopeful about it. I haven't found a single horseshoe yet, so I'm a little bit worried about that. All right, so, you know, when you're looking at this stuff too, when you go by, if there's Indian artifacts in the area, always kind of look at the rocks. They could be like hammer stones, and there could be stone axes and stuff like that that farmers might have picked up, or slaves, you know, back before the Civil War. And they probably weren't interested in that kind of stuff, and they might have just thrown it in the river with the rest of the rocks out of the field. Farmers very famously would pick up stuff from the, you know, if there were camps or battles, and just, you know, cannonballs, muskets, broken bayonets, and throw it all in the river. That's one reason the rivers can be so lucrative, if you can find the right spot. There's just not a lot of spots, but when you find the right one, they're really good. Moved out of the area where I thought the ford might be, and the water's getting pretty deep. I'm going to keep going up along here, because I'm starting to find some interesting stuff. Well, interesting to me anyway. I'm getting this iron. This is all cast iron stuff. I don't know what that is. This is a pretty interesting thing. It's cast iron. It's got rivets in it, so that's a rivet right there. So that could date to the Civil War. Who knows? Or even earlier. And the fact that there seems to be quite a bit of it right here is telling me there could be a camp up there. There could have been a house up there. There could have been a ferry here. Definitely too deep for a ford. We'll come up with a cannonball or a musket or a bayonet or something. Or at least maybe a horseshoe. If we get a horseshoe, I might be happy at this point. A beautiful big iron signal here, and it is a bottle jack from like a truck or a car or something like that, or a tractor. This did not wash down in the flood, so someone was dumping trash in off the bank. In fact, you can see some broken glass right there. So I like to look in these areas because you never know what else might be in here. It could have been a dump 100 years ago as well. But I also did find one of these things, which is, of course, off of a sickle bar mower. That could be 100 years old as well, but I think I'm in a dumping area. Post-Civil War for sure, but still worth checking out a little bit closer. So let's keep on digging some big iron. Maybe we'll get an artillery shell next time, or the time after that, or the time after that. You know what I mean. It's a giant turtle right there. I don't know if it's dead or just napping, but let's go look at it. Oh, there he goes. Let's go check him out. Well, I think those two turtles weren't napping, but I think they were just like wrestling or something. I'll let them go. They went up in their beaver hole up against the bank there, so I don't want to get too close to them. Let them consummate their business. Well, we got our first really cool find, which I think is cool. This is a homemade sinker, fishing weight. You can see the hole in the top of a piece of lead. And if you look on the side, you can see it's actually a Civil War bullet. Those are the rings right there. So they took a Civil War bullet and they mashed it out into a fishing sinker. 100% Civil War bullet made into a fishing weight. Awesome. First relic of the day. Identifiable relic of the day, besides me. Which is the most awesome find. At least for myself. Look at the size of this freshwater mussel I just found. You can see it's still alive. Kind of closed up now, but yeah, that's a giant fresh, it's like a clam, but it's actually a mussel. And I don't know if they're edible or not. I think the Indians probably ate them, but yeah, that thing's huge. There you go, puppy. I just picked them up off the bottom. I could just see them down there. I don't see any more, but they were just laying there. Found a beautiful big old axe head, and that could be Civil War era or earlier. That's where I found the axe. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a lot of Civil War underwater action because it's very cloudy, but another big signal right next. That's right where I picked the axe up. So I'm just going to reach under and see if I can just pick it up with my hand. I'm going to have to get the pinpoint. It's actually a big layer of mud. Ooh, felt like an artillery shell. Or a rock. And that's probably a rock. I'm gonna have to turn you off, get the pinpointer out, and grab it that way. Oh wait, let me get my magnet. Durr. This makes it about 100 times easier because you just, of course I don't know exactly where it was now. Alright, didn't feel it yet, so let's get the machine. We'll run it over it. Okay, so I'm gonna put my foot just to the left of the target and just try to poke with the magnet. So, big thick layer of mud here, so let me take my foot and I'm going to clear the mud back so the magnet can get a grip on it. Not quite getting it yet. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit, it's right here. I don't have a really strong magnet, so I can't pick it. Here it comes. Get a hold of it and kind of shake it a little bit up and down. Kind of loosens it up. And that's right where I found that axe. It could be another one. Come on. I think it is by the feel of it, because the blade is magnet sliding up along me. Something that feels like an axe head. Is it? No. Not so much for Civil War stuff. That is a shock absorber. So it could be just another part more of this dump that we're in. I'll still take the axe. I'll throw that in the boat and get it out of here, but I'm a little bit less happy than I was when I just had the axe. Oh well. I have an irony signal right here, and I hit it with a magnet and I could see like oil coming up, so I think it's going to be probably an oil filter or something like that. You can see the oil coming up right there on the surface. Oh, it's not an oil filter. Oh well. That is a big, I can smell oil though, so there's something oily in here. You can see there's oil in that right there. Oh, that might be creosote. Possibly, it could be like an old railroad tie. Yeah, that's an old railroad. Look how small the spikes are too. That could be oil inside the tie or creosote or something. I'm gonna leave that here because it really stinks. So I've been looking around for about an hour and I really haven't found anything. Well, I found a nickel. Pretty sure it's kind of a modern nickel, but let me show it to you real quick. This is my best. Well, I got two things. It's a nickel. I don't know what the date is on it. It's almost like it could be a war nickel, though. What do you think? Probably not. On this little thing, not sure what it is. You know, screw top on it. I thought it might be like a little incense burner or something, but maybe something full of gold coins. We'll crack it open a little bit later. But I see a bottle down there. It looks like it could be a cork top. What do you think? I'll put you under. Well, it is, and it certainly goes with the like Miller High Life bottles I've been finding. Patron. Well, guys, that's going to be about it. I have been up and down the river, back and forth. I'm not finding hardly anything, just mostly sinkers or fishing weights like this. Got a handful of them. That's got a hole in it, that piece of lead there, but I don't think that's not a bullet. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, so I'm going to call it quits. Guess we found one bullet sinker and an axe and a couple of little odds and ends, but that's really about it for today. Sorry about that. Gosh. All the cicadas on the background, don't you? You know it's summertime when you hear those. Those are annual cicadas. They come out every year. I'm on my own this week and actually batching it, so I think I'll go home and maybe have an adult beverage and just chill out for a while by myself. And the kitties, of course. Gotta hang out with the kitties. So we'll see you on the next one, I hope.
She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand.